And a lot more safety for the Varus.
G2 right now, they're just looking for a little bit more engage, and there was that rel that we were talking about. Not only is it a huge comfort pick for Labrov, but it synergizes nicely with the composition. And G2 gone for a very traditional front-to-back style of composition, whereas Top Esports have a little bit more dive, and Bessa Wukong comes through from Han Summer. Jackula goes for a bunch of fights, then he goes back and he TPs early, coming back to lane, and he keeps up the pressure. He's built up a very nice lead in the bot lane 2 versus 2, and the pressure he has resulted...
Broken Blade, nice timing on the level 6.
Debating mean that we have the possibilities for contesting at least a couple of them.
One grub already down. Kanavi, though, uses his smite, so may opt to just back away. Caps has access to the TP shortly, but is slightly delayed. Cream also resetting, so it seems like neither side wants to full-on fist fight. Just hoping that they can move in, leverage their pressure, rather than needing to go all in.
G2 have to be very careful. Burst damage from Akali right now is huge. Akali plus Wukong.
Cream on the way in, Unbreakable coming in for Hong. Skewmon going a little bit wider, and wins become Lightning, and G2 pulling back as a 4-stack. That's 1-to-1 in terms of overall grubs. TES will grab the 2 grub buff. G2 again didn't want to push their luck. Have to be so careful fighting into that Braum, fighting into that level 6.
Look at these lane assignments from Top Esports. They've got 369. Oh, getting engaged on.
Immediate ulti. Public execution not going to take 369 out to safety. The ignite ticking down, but he's got more than enough shielding just to walk away. Ulti for ulti, but they get the flash from 369. Traded for Labrov's as TES. See an opportunity bot side. G2 stepping too far forward. Q flash from Hong goes completely wide, but it doesn't matter. The concussive blows connecting in the end, and it's first blood for Jackie Love.
G2 tried to find...
Where he just beat like
he
400
He got flogged, yeah. That's rough.
That was some good punches there from 369. Chunks caps down below 50% and earns the objective pretty effortlessly.
Feels like a repeat of what we saw in the first game of Swiss. Top Esports finding these early leads, G2 not really having many options to trade back elsewhere on the map, and Top Esports are playing with these advantages very, very well. They've accrued a 1k gold lead, they have full control over the early objectives. They're trying to make a play on a Jackula, but he's not afraid of anything.
Entering strike goes wide, but the ulti from Varus does not. Immediate TP in. Labrov about to get one shot. Jackula happy to have a second kill. Hung gonna make sure he donates. No, they donated to Cream, who contributed. Builds that individual lane advantage, and the rest of the team now coming home to reap the rewards. Caps and the rest of G2 want to cover. They do not want to concede this tower. Labrov ghosting in. Riding in on a steel horse, ulti available, no flash, but he might not need it. Hung gonna be sacrificed. TES sticking around a bit too long on the top side, and Caps happy to reap the rewards.
All of the supports are the party favors that you were mentioning. Willing to donate, the sacrifice, as you say, Kanavi.
Kanavi kicking things off with the Cyclone. Cream waiting behind, still has access to the perfect execution, No, on cooldown from the previous play. Portabelt also used, but the public execution taking out Labrov. And it's not just the mid laners taking the kills.
It's a bit different, but this control, the advantages they built in lanes, transitioning it now into the Herald, TES dominating game 1.
All in though, Caps! No time for redemption!
Cream!
Oriana, and now the side lanes, I mean, just look at the minimap, fully in control for Top Esports.
Cream having a hell of a time.
And G2, they have to group and force.
G2 ignoring topside, letting that wave be deleted because they know they need to defend mid lane. Rift Herald, Kanavi mounted up. Looking for a knock-up, Unbreakable for a brief moment. Now moving into the backside, that's the Cyclone. Skewmon gets out the Crescent Guard to mitigate some of the damage, but he's still locked down by Jackie Love. Moving into the circle briefly as Hong does his best to body block. All in from G2. The public execution brings 369 right into G2's backline, and they start to fall. TES make it look effortless. Cream pulled back, the shockwave, Caps a moment. He turns it back for G2 and takes 2 in return.
Though, because after that fight,
Shockwave in just a few seconds. G2 know they have an angle to turn it. It's a brief window of opportunity. They managed to take away the Drake. Now they're keeping the fight going though. Excellent ulti again, catching out Skewmon. He's been locked down, he'll be sacrificed. TES get 1 on the exit kills, but G2 slow.
The assistance of Hong, they keep G2 at arm's length, but they don't yet start the objective. They want to get the tower, and this will go uncontested.
G2 losing more and more control over the bottom side. Passive. AK getting lower. Kanavi looking for the flank. G2 have no idea. They want to burn this down. They see the TP now. They realize they may have overstepped, but the Otacon's been leashed. TES won the fight. Double redemption, but they're grouping for the Cyclone. Crescent Guard denies it for a brief moment, but all of G2 have to run because once again, and it's 369 and Cream back to back. The triple kill for the Akali. G2 are helpless in the face of this Top Esports dive.
He's rolling all night. This Ambessa is insane. He's cutting them down. The teleport ward is perfectly placed, and G2 have been decimated.
Shepherded into a choke point. Top Esports collapse like wolves and tear G2 caps.
Caps wants to clear the wave, I guess. Buys a brief moment with the Zanya to contemplate his failures because he will not get any kills.
He clears out the wave, but questionable play there as the Arakan is secured by Top Esports. A 7K gold lead, and just beautiful team fighting from this Top Esports squad. The fact that G2 had no recourse, no escape as they get picked apart.
On an early game from TES that was so commanding, that was so confident, that was already a Hail Mary for G2. And frankly, at this point, Hail Marys are all they have left.
I mean,
With Wukong and Mbessa, the turn is crazy threatening. 369 though, he's still out on the map.
2. Q flash coming in for the shattering strike. Skewmon gonna follow up. Public execution gets a little bit of space for 369 as he flashes out. The Drake count step, but the shockwave brings him right back. Hung on the way in to try to protect his top laner, blocking so much damage with the Unbreakable. And now it's Cream in the Shroud. 5 members. The death ball of G2 as Cream dashes right back out. And Kanavi goes in. TES diving, dodging, cutting through G2. And now it's Broken Blade to try to turn it back. He's gone all out, but it might be too late. Skewmon staying living for a brief moment. Redemption now coming in. The extra healing from Thunder Sky will not do a damn thing. Broken Blade down, an ace for TES.
Absolutely beautiful from Top Esports once again. Cream went in a little bit too eager. He was isolated from his team, but the moment that Kanavi finds the angle onto the backline, G2 just fall apart.
Yeah, this is one way to start a fight. Just keep on split pushing as the only one left applying pressure. 369 uses his ult, his flash, his dashes, still gets
Knocked
locked
out
back.
by Cream.
And remember, for both of these teams, there are questions about how they will respond to pressure. For now, Cream needs to worry about responding to the Zen, though, as he dodges through, managing to get away from the shockwave. Redemption going in. He will dash through with the perfect execution. Goes back in onto Caps. I don't think he needed to go back in.
Kanavi can.
That one wasn't it, but Caps gonna flash out the exhaust.
They're gonna need a lot more.
Cream did get the Zanyas though, so we'll have access to another stasis effect as Kanavi's just stepping forward to poke. Ulti from Jackie Love locking down Broken Blade. It's a split fight. Kanavi still stepping forward, not hesitating to do so much work. Shockwave only connecting onto 369, but it just does not stop him.
Oh my God.
Passive procs left and right. Running down G2 Esports, a double kill for Jackie Love as these kills are donated to him so consistently. Flashes over the wall. He knows a dead body when he sees it, and G2 out of this game 1.
Cream was just the starter. The main dish of 369 had yet to arrive, and my goodness, did it blow G2 away in game 1.
G2 sent reeling TES. The dominance from Swiss was not a one-time thing. G2 sent back to the drawing board as TES run a victory lap around Summoner's Rift.
Someone gonna play that has some safety.
You can see in the player cam, it feels like he's going through options, a face of confusion. Is this the right choice?
It's like, how do I live?
Lucian,
I don't like this.
full disclosure, this man has not gotten his international Lucian license. Very few people in the West have. Level 1 notoriously weak. Bard level 1 pretty dang strong. It's been hit a lot over the years with nerfs, but you have the passive, you have the Q. You can do some decent damage on a Jackie Love as Lebrov just keeps landing these stuns, forces the flash out from Jackie Love.
Okay, there's my answer. I'm scared of the bottom lane because
Guys, I love Lucian. Like that, what a great
Honestly,
pick.
yeah, great call. I was sorry, sir. I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know that Q would hit. That hitbox seems a little crazy, but we'll bring that up in a different series.
yeah, who's issuing these licenses? G2, they get 3 sums for 1, and they send Jackie back to base. All he can buy is a refillable potion.
He doesn't have TP this time around. Hans was already forced back early on, level 2, level 3 in that game 1. G2 off to a much better start.
And Lebrov is going to make it even worse.
This is so good because they did the level 1 and they had the vision. They knew that Kanavi is clearing up towards top side, so they could just straight proxy Jackie to level 1. You're going to stay level 1, buddy.
Jackie Love has to be
Lost
frustrated.
everything. He lost it
Level
all.
3 from Lebrov. Can't sidestep as the initial Q connects. Hansama only level 2. Is able to proc the press the attack. Jackie Love so damn low. Skewmon starting to walk down. TES imprisoned under this bot lane tower. If they go anywhere else, they will fall. And if they leave, they will fall
Jackie
even
needs level
further
2.
behind. Jackie Love desperately needs access to the spell shield, but it looks like Skewmon might just start to walk him down. Knockup is there, but again, Lebrov 3 for 3 on the bindings. Hong though clutch as he fires back.
Ooh, G2 barely get out alive with the other 2 members. Mid though.
Caps caught out. Procs the phase rush, starts to run, will be able to make it away. Hung on the way in to try and finish off the run. Q flash, slowed down. Skewmon getting a little bit more damage. Down goes Hung. He wanted to turn it back, but G2 find another.
We want to play all their resources down to the bottom side. You want to leave the Galio isolated versus Rumble anyway. You just continue to stack dragons, have Ryze constantly hovering to gank on bottom side, and Skewmon keep on clearing from top side. Honestly though, G2 progressed the game plan pretty smoothly here as Skewmon level 6 on Mundo just farming away. And with the extra grubs as well, you know, he got second Scuttle Crab, so he got that extra leverage over Kanavi. Then getting the grubs as well is just so nice for this champ.
G2 happy to have all 3 Void
He's
grubs.
hovering around, and this time it's not fake pressure. He has the ulti available. He's been spotted.
Cap spotted JackieLove on the run, now realizes there's really nowhere for him to go. The last bastion of safety. TP not quite there for Cream, TP not quite there for 369 as the Colon comes out onto JackieLove, getting lower and lower. The heal already popped. Cap's waiting off to the side. Skewmon tanking the tower, and the TPs are now coming in. That's the feat of warfare for G2, and the portal out! A flawless heist on the top side, the equalizer. Too damn late.
As he gets away to safety. And now we return back to live as Caps has found Hung.
Hung straying way too far forward. Thought he had an angle. Thought G2 were resetting.
Pushing the bot 2v2. And after game 1 where Han Summon just straight up got bodied by JackieLove in the matchup, to come in game 2, brush that one off, and then have a performance like this, a massive glow up for this G2 bot lane. They're continuing that pressure. Level 8 Han Summon to level 6 JackieLove. He's being completely zoned away from the farm.
And you can see they're committed to taking Jackie out of this game. They've ignored topside in 369 entirely. They're happy to give him isolated gold as long as they can take it away from JackieLove.
Yeah, this is something that G2's doing a lot this game. They are constantly committing 4 members to one side of the map. Broken Blade moves into mid to catch the wave. And as you highlighted, Dracos, they're just allowing 369 that solo farm. He's building a lead of his own, but the rest of the map is going all the way of G2.
Committed into going into Broken Blade. That's the fate seal for the follow-up. A lot of time wasted here. They do get Broken Blade, but Lebrov moving up as well.
Littered across the map from Lebrov. He's got great deep wards everywhere on the map.
Kanavi on the flank though. Hansama caught out for a brief moment. Cream finds him isolated, and Hard reads the play. Hansama name changing to Dr. Seuss after that
Get
one.
some much needed XP here in game 2.
Wow, that was just such a masterful play here for TES. Perfect timing for them to punish G2, and delete stacking is still available for G2. They're starting it out very quickly. Broken Blade walking over. Galio ultimate ready.
Eyes on Hansama and the Coling. The most fed, individually powerful member of this G2 lineup. He has to perform in the fight. It's the flank for Broken Blade for now. 369. The ulti combo is real from TES if they can find the angle. Kanavi moving forward, Hung getting chunked out. Taunt off to the side. Kanavi uses ult. It's the drag down for TES. They no longer with the fight. They want to get out. Quick fate sealed from TES. But now the Realm Warp in. G2 moving forward. The suitcase connecting onto Cream, but they don't quite find the snare. TES retreating well, getting the initial objective. Their fate now tempered. JackieLove locked up. Surely the Simmer falls here, but it's a quick flash back, and G2 walk away empty-handed.
Anti-synergy there. Lebrov ultimate actually hits the stasis onto Jackie just as Broken Blade got a taunt onto him. So then it times out, and as soon as they get out of the ultimate, he can flash away. So G2 are unable to catch anyone on the way out.
You can see that G2 was so hesitant to force that engage. Now Hung may have found a nice angle onto Caps.
Caps, no Realm Warp, and they know it. Kanavi here as well, the Profane Hydra, a lot of potential burst damage, move in, reset on the blade, Terra shape, grasp to try and finish it, the Ishtal's edge, knocking down Caps.
To be able to roast through the Mundo here. Skewmon did go very heavily into armor, both the crit reduction as well as the Tabis, and getting the minus damage on auto attacks. So 369 still gonna kind of burn right through him.
Difficult position for G2 now. You have to feel that the ease of execution favors top esports. Hansama really needs to be on his A game, cannot afford to get caught again. You highlighted it already, but JackieLove from being zoned away for so many of the early levels to now comfortably catching waves and farming in the mid lane. Definitely not what G2 were planning for, as Kanavi caught out for a moment. Ulti keeps him safe, connects onto 2! G2 thought they had the angle, but TES turn it right back. Hong going through the wall, looking for the setup. Initial binding going down, Redemption coming in to heal up G2 as they're ready to turn it back. Broken Blade there to cover both teams. Fist fighting for control. Ulti in from Green goes completely wide. He's forced to snap back, but the root is still there. G2 holding.
He's so good at stealing objectives.
Waiting on that cooldown for the Terra shape so you can get the double Q off. 4K.
Don't let him in.
Does he want to risk the 50-50? The answer is yes, but Skumon connects with the smite, secures the Otacon for G2.
That's huge. That's flash off of Kanavi as well. No flash on the Kiana. And went in with grass, hoping that the invisibility is going to buy him time to get a better...
Working towards what I imagine will be the Infinity Edge. And once he gets it, my goodness, will this Lucian be scary.
That he will, as Hung cut out for a brief moment, but it looks like he's turned it back onto Lebrov. Thought the portal would keep him safe, but it did not. Mundo passive removed, won't be able to pick up the canister, means Skumon is vulnerable. Heart Zapper there, forced to use the maximum dosage, starting to heal out. The taunt still connects onto Cream, but an excellent equalizer to zone away Hansama. Healing reduction does mitigate some of it. This is about half HP. TES now retreating. They've burned so many ultimates. Keep your eye on the Fate's Healed. Cream on the flank, but he's not going to be able to get much done as Caps is already looking to take things over. But the ulti still hits! Cream in the clutch, trading 1-for-1. Skumon and Caps blinking health bars against 4 standing members of TES.
Incredible triangulation of the engage from Cream onto Hansama, taking him out. Caps is the fearsome member of G2 still left alive, but with the teleport, TES will force them off the objective.
Lebrov inbound with the Tempered Fate, but it does look like TES will tie up the Drakes. 369, not going to follow the magical journey, but TES getting what they came for. Still an extra BF sword, but keeping my eyes on 369. The Rumble continues to benefit as Jackie Love has been caught out. Skumon finding him. Kanavi's ulti not doing a damn thing. Mundo going where he pleases. The ulti from the Bard not quite connecting. Ulti from the Rumble, the equalizer, doing a bit of damage back, but the pick in favor of G2.
When in doubt, look to pick off Jackie Love. It is a tried and true strategy. G2 early position into the brush of the red quadrant of the jungle rewards them.
He's catching Hu. Hong's able to find the knockup, working through. Extra damage onto Skumon now going through. Cream is going to follow the snapback coming in, but Hansama's already gotten a kill in return. Skumon is just healing too much. The armor, the crit reduction paying off. Cream flashing out to safety. He found the angle in the previous fight. He will not today. Hung getting run down in G2's jungle. G2 found the initial pick. TES thought they could do one better, but they absolutely could not.
Ring around the rosy.
Hex Blast goes over. Running. Okay, he's dead. And Hung, I gotta be honest, it's been a rough one. You said it earlier, but just continues to make these little mistakes as now 369 is in jeopardy. Shut down on his head, a bounty that G2 are eager to collect. 369 doing a lot of damage, but crucially the taunt turning away from Caps. Caps now 3.
Prize of Summoner's Rift.
Oh no, this is a scary objective start. All of Europe is holding onto the edge of their seat as Kanavi is in the area.
Second blue trinket
come down.
Spots it out. Skumon, of course, happy to tank up a lot of this damage. A massive risk to be certain. Tempered Fate available. TES group. Lebrov holding onto it as long as he can. Kanavi, the grass blade ready to go. Stun onto Jackie Love connecting. Caps immediately going to follow. Redemption coming through, but it's not enough. Once again, Jackie is picked off. Cream coming in with the Q3, but it's just too late. Kanavi trying to make his way out, but he isn't able to grab the grass blade, and down he goes. G2 might not get the Baron yet, but they sure as hell take the fight.
A scary situation that is masterfully handled. G2 find a nice turn onto Top Esports, who don't 5 all 5 members. They put the pressure onto Kanavi, they get the pick onto Jackie Love, and they're looking to secure their first Baron of the series.
What a domino effect for G2. And picking off the Rumble in the side lane coverage for themselves. That allows you really impressive use of a Baron buff that guarantees towers will be destroyed, gold will be accrued for G2, and the poise that they have showed on stage here after being demolished in game number 1 results in G2 knocking on the base of TES here, only 27.5 minutes into the game.
Oh, that Civet starting to hurt a little bit. Caps brought down to less than 50% HP. Skumon largely unfazed by that poke, but Top Esports haven't quite given up just yet. The game is not over. Dragon is alive.
Waiting in the darkness. Q3 from Cream connecting nicely. Redemption to heal him back up. 350 additional HP to hold the line here as G2 knocking down the tier 2s, but haven't broken the base quite yet. Maybe hoping to catch TES off guard.
No Baron buff on Caps means that he's not going to have those empowered minions. He's going to clear out this wave, but that mid tower is soon to fall as G2 continue their siege on the bot side of the map.
Yes, using the equalizer to clear this wave, knowing there's only one more coming in mid, one more coming in bot before the Baron will fade away. Skumon chunked out. A nice magical journey to usher G2 into the mid lane. Out-rotating TES for a brief moment does mean the inhibitor should fall. TES, I think, need to give this one up. Cannot afford to force a fight, especially with the Kiana at this angle. No big walls to play around. So hard for TES to get that 5v5.
Yeah, honestly, I think TS just have to play damage control. G2 are keeping up the pressure, though. These Bards rotating everybody over to bottom side, and they're going to get this tower as well.
Tower flashing from Hong, looking for the 3-man immediate vault, but he's only going to connect to the Broken Blade. Cream cannot find the ulti, but Skewmon sure as hell can't find the back line. G2 moving through, but Kanavi found the shutdown. In the meantime, the healing now going in. It's a jungler down, but Hansama is dead as well. Jackie Love and 369 needing now to hold the line. 369 moving through. Jackie Love in the mid lane. TES a bit over-eager on the force there. G2 happy to punish as Cream manages to find the knockup, continuing to poke at G2. And in the end, it'll only be the second inhibitor as G2 set their sights on their third threat.
Basically got Broken Blade, and Broken Blade still escaped and came back for the re-engage on top of Mundo. That being said, Kanavi's still able to find his target, killing edge for Cream. So the Yone is going to be more threatening. Jackie, of course, because he's been put so far behind, needs a lot more time to be able to really catch back up. And so G2, they're not going to give him that time. 2 inhibitors down, and they're coming for the third.
G2 looking to keep the pressure up. 369 uses the equalizer to clear the wave, and they've got Cream split pushing in a side lane. Knowing that G2 don't really have the threat to full commit here.
They have the Bard ultimate. They could use it if they want to try and force a dive, but G2's engage isn't the quickest. They are quite reliant on Skewmon just running at his opposition. Maybe Caps landing a root. Good damage comes down onto Skewmon.
Another wave here. Cream finally going to reset, ready to engage in the fight. 2-man ulti coming in from Kanavi, and Labrov is on the way out, calling over the wall, taking down Hong as 369 also trying to fire back. The Flame Spitter doing a decent amount of work, but here comes the Realm Warp. Kanavi ulti already gone. He's got no course. Make it out of this one. The Grass Blade keeps him standing, though, crucially. Flashing from Cream. This time, Hansama's got the movement. Manages to make it out of the way with the Relentless Pursuit, and now Caps chasing down the remaining members of TES. G2 firing back in this game, too, and they may just look to end it here.
G2 bounce back in a masterful way. They stick to their comfort.
Kanavi, decent start to the fight, but it's just not enough. You said it, Betty. A masterful bounce back. We had questions. G2 had answers. The series tied at 1-1.
Beautiful game plan. Attack the bottom lane. G2 just destroyed Jackie and Hung.
They need to secure a few more kills.
Champions in their first game here in Swiss versus G2. Instead of the Wei, they had Orianna. Instead of the Ezreal, they had the Yunara. But
really? Caps is Silas into this much. So he wants to avoid as much damage as possible. Now Skewmon making his way top lane.
Blake can just leverage the stun here. Infernal Chains do pull him back, but it might not matter. Skewmon, decent damage now coming in. The shield, extra slow there. Broken Blade still waiting for that cooldown, though. Might not be able to finish it. Does not want to go under tower. One more auto, and Skewmon manages to seal the deal.
Beautiful river to allow these roams back and forth.
Hansama, flash forward from Hong, looking to lock him down with the root and still manage to connect as Kanavi moves in. That's the pillar locking in as well. Jackie Love's W going a little bit wide here as Hansama tries to back out with the lantern, denying the play. Labrov ready to body block as well as Cream is moving forward, has access to the ultimate, the Spiraling Despair. Labrov still frontlining Skewmon, the shields. We're going to keep him standing for now. Labrov is forced to flash away. TES with control of the bot side rivers. There's an all-in top. Dominus already used by Broken Blade. 369 on the way out with the Whirlender. Should just be able to. And the other big thing is Wall Thresh can be a very feast or famine champion. If you're the team who gets to set up first, he can feel so powerful.
Yeah, same thing for Caitlyn and the Caitlyn traps. Nice little brush line here is going to allow the quicker stack up as well. Lantern safety is still there. Nicely done.
And Labrov will just fish for poke, and you can see the Ezreal ultimate as well. Coming through the top lane, trying to thin out that wave, also threaten G2's bot lane in the event of the dive, but Hans is more than happy to just play for plates right now.
And despite a difficult first few levels, right, where Jackie Love and Hong are able to put all that pressure down, Hansama and G2 have been able to bring themselves back in this game. It's a 200 gold advantage, but perhaps a bit too keen to take away some of these camps. Labrov is there with the lantern. Can it get him out this time? The answer is no. Skewmon gonna fall, but gonna go move with the fancy footwork just in time for Jackie Love to snipe out the kill. Trading sides of the map, of course, Trundle, a terror on those towers, and while there's a lot of tools to protect Hansama, not quite able to work through that objective quickly, even with the power of 3 grubs from the plays early on.
And I think top Esports want to keep this going. Even with the grubs advantage that G2 has, they're going to commit to the recall. Broken Blade really can't afford to approach the wave. He has his ultimate to try and protect it, but Cream is on his way as well. TP committed.
Cream first on the move as well. I think
he doesn't realize that there are 3 wards on the bot side of the map. TP is available for Caps. TP is about to come up for Broken Blade. They could look for a very deep flank to get a collapse onto 369.
It's also 20 seconds away from that Mountain Drake. TES were able to grab the first cloud. Instead, G2 happy with the Herald. See if Caps wants to burn the TP down to this bottom lane tower. Instead, it seems like he'll be happy to catch the wave wherever it's at. TES, though, see an easy angle to set up around this Drake. G2 aren't going to have any bot prio. It will be difficult if they want to contest this. I think more likely that they just give it away.
Yeah, I think it's the trade. My question is, are they going to try and send 3 people towards Cream at the moment? We have Labrov like looking over the side wall here to see if they can pressure this way.
I will say that XP going the way of top esports right now, mainly because 369 has spent so much time isolated in the side lane. Cream doing the same. They both have about a half a level lead as G2 pushing this top wave in with the Heralds. Not much the top esports can do to stop it.
Ulti onto Broken Blade.
Caps has to be so careful here. He is completely isolated from his team. And of course, when I say that, that means that he has to fight.
Playing on the edge. Labrov obviously moving into the mid lane, as is Hansama, but Hansama has to be careful not to step too far forward. Has Skewmon to protect him, and not base checks. Into Cream, into Jackie Love. Kanavi already pulling the Otacon back. Doesn't want to be too close.
Kalen's backing. They have no idea.
Now they suspect TP coming in from 369. Might not have flash, might not have ulti, but there to back the team up on the objective.
If they don't have Kalen, they cannot fight. So the timing window here for Hans walking back is just going to be too slow. This is for sure just TES objective.
And credit to TES, recognizing the strength of their own composition, that they had a respawn, likely the third Drake to TES immediately following.
This could be the fight. Broken Blade's going back to buy.
Caps on the side, but spotted out by TES. Knockup is good from 369. Lantern gonna pull him back. Decent ulti coming in from Jackie Love. Redemption getting those health bars right back up. TES pull away from the Drake, but Kanavi wants to fish for more. Pillar down in the mid lane, won't have much effect. Hook connecting onto Hung, but Labrov stuns himself to throw it down, and it's a severing bolt from the skies to knock him down. Caps will fall as well as Jackie Love fearlessly shifts forward.
They suffocate G2 away from the vision, they take apart their HP, and they catch Caps out of position.
And
That's the whole point.
Can they find a surprise pick?
Root Collar over the wall. Broken Blade immediately going to stun him. So much damage. Barely gets a chance to push the sub to gain it. Likely still going to fall. The shutdown is there. 369 running with the second.
Bit late.
Also able to grab the flash. Using the Daisy to siege the tower here, but without more threat onto Cream, pretty effortlessly deletes these waves. Daisy gives them a few more autos, but Hansama can't afford to stick around.
Everybody except for Hansama, because the rest of G2 are going to be clumping.
Labrov. They're going a little bit wide, but now he's just completely isolated himself. Flash forward with the play. Broken Blade ready to come over the wall immediately into the back of the line, but Jackie Love is still standing for now, untouched. Broken Blade trying to move forward, but 369 perfectly interrupts. Jackie Love shift back over the wall, now able to free fire, but Hansama is firing back just as well. Trap down, Redemption coming in. The Kaylin needs to make the difference, but it's 369 into the back line with the triple.
Caps is going to run for his life, but 369 still on the hunt. Even though Caps survives, it does not matter. That is going to be TES awaiting the arrival of their Ocean Soul.
It does not matter the year, it does not matter the game, it does not matter the team. The LPL Aatrox comes all the same. It is the fear of all European teams as 369 comes up.
Lantern can get him closer. Is the miracle here?
Skewmon needs to get the steal. 5K getting lower. Caps waiting over the wall, taking a bit of poke already. Root down from Skewmon. Ulti's coming in. Labrov getting lower and lower. 369 looking to isolate him completely. The jungler deleted. Kanavi remains on the Baron. Caps hoping for a desperation steal, but it absolutely will not work. The Ocean Soul, the Baron empowering TES as they take the objective. Hansama, Q connecting, Infernal Chains, and it's beautiful from 369.
Top Esports deny the steal from G2. Top Esports is hunting for more kills, and Top Esports is looking to go match point in this best of 5.
Lantern there, but TES running G2 down. Caps finally going in, but that's not a 1v1 you want. Jackie Love in melee range, fist fighting the Silas without fear.
And TES are inside the base. They've got Baron buff on. They can just go for the rest of the buildings.
Reset coming in from Broken Blade. Skewmon there, but it's not enough. 39 seconds on Caps, 13 on Hansama. The True Shot Barrage will not connect, but TES just keeping the siege going. One tower to fall. Broken Blade marked up by the Spiraling Despair. Trying to hold on to the mental in the final moments as the last member of G2 falls. Hansama there just in time to watch TES move on to match point, and they're making it personal as they take him down.
Kanavi flashing the JDG side. And trying to keep track of the Nico can get very difficult as well.
You can hear the crowd getting excited of the prospect of 369's Nart, something he's played a lot so far this year, and he's going to be bringing it out. I will say, though, as good as it is in the matchup, I feel
on
like...
the way up. Remember, the Draven, the potential gold income from the stacks could be massive, but Hansama is zoned away completely right now, and they recognize a window of opportunity. Kanavi immediately going to go forward. Hung not able to find the knockup. A clever use of the heroic charge from Skumon. Hansama off to the side. Eyes on the Draven. The knockup is there, and Hung might just go down. That's the ulti, and the first blood to G2.
Kanavi wanted to steal away a Grub, but he gets Ornn ulted.
Ornn called. Kanavi still running, zoned away from the objective. LeBron pretending to be a melee minion.
They've TP'd Broken Blade up here, though, and that's just giving 369 free access to this bot tower. It is good news for G2.
Get the Dragon on top of it afterwards here. So really playing around the Yuntal completed Hansama. Getting that to just walk his way up there.
Ooh, 369
here.
thinks he's safe.
Level 9, though. Ulti available, as is the flash. G2, they've got Skumon on the way, but they need to be careful not to go too soon. Root does connect onto 369. They spot Skumon now coming in. Hansama forced to flash away. 369 manages to connect with the wall. Flash forward, 2 into the wall, and here comes Kanavi! 369 playing with patience, punishing G2.
Oh, 369, he alley-oops into the wall for Kanavi to clean it up. Comes down and gets 2 kills onto the Nefiri. That is absolutely insane for a play that G2 had been waiting for and prepping for, waiting in the brush.
Excellent patience demonstrated by Top Esports, and getting that kill onto Hansama as well to try and slow this Draven down. Kanavi will pick up 2 kills. The superstar of this team being...
They're going to need to be careful on the side lanes. You can see the pings down now onto Caps. Kanavi moving down. Caps will see this coming. But Kanavi taking his time to move in. A nice backstep. Scatter the Weak is going to be big here. Eyes on Caps. 369 starts to stack the Rage. Ulti's still not quite available. They managed to lock him up. Going to try to burst him down because it's Broken Blade out of nowhere on the flank to secure the kill.
Top laners really want to be bot lane. They TP to bot. Broken Blade assists with the kill. He'll help his team get the first tower of the game as well. Cream will be left isolated top to pick up farm where he can. But was Top Esports now being the proactive player?
The next kill is going to determine the feats or the next objective for G2. They are very close to getting them. Top side here is kind of being answered and will eventually go
start off this objective as 369 looks to secure another tower for his team.
369 gained and then lost a bit of a gold lead in the isolated 1v1 after Broken Blade was able to TP in and get that first kill. Cap zoning hung off. Cream now moving in. Just a bit of cheeky poke. Won't be able to
by
steal.
pushing in one lane. There's not a lot that Broken Blade can do about it except kind of like collect the wave once it gets up to the secondary tower. And it does result in...
which I do believe he has right now. So G2 kind of have to cover this side lane. They have to overstack and they have to leave Broken Blade on the weak side of the map in order to really play through these side objectives. Caps will secure that tower, equalizing us.
Teleport play here. They're trying to pincer 369.
369 starting to back up. Extra movement speed from the Hyper proc. Ulti out. Not a lot of rage stack trying to bounce, but he's not going to find the angle. Instantaneous knockup. The Fury stacking. 369 living for an extra moment, but not nearly long enough. Cream comes down, but it's just...
With the Rift Herald, they have extra pressure towards mid lane.
So much threat. You can see the range of the Scatter of the Weak from Caps makes it so easy to poke out Kanavi. Jackie Love, shorter range, all things considered, so can't really walk up to that wave without risking his life as he doesn't have the ulti. He doesn't have the cleanse, and you can see it's hurting. Knock back into the wall onto Hung. Is forced to use the quickness. Taking his time on the blast cone as G2 remain laser focused on this mid wave. Kanavi waiting over the wall, but spotted out by Lebrov, crucially.
Skummon's already started this objective. The TP early, used by 369. Both teams looking for a brawl.
No control over the opposite side, Tribush. from G2, but it seems like they are unconcerned, happy to just force the front to back. Hung on the flake. No quickness available, but he does have access to the exhaust. 3K on the objective. G2 are trying to burn it down, but Kanavi's not having it. The Forge God called, Broken Blade exhausted, knocked out G2, hand delivering the objective to the side of TES. 369 wants a bit more. The Hyper Procs coming in, scout of the week, pushing back TES, but G2 losing so damn much.
Yeah, G2's hopes come crashing down.
Level up over Caps, accelerating into the mid and late game. Top Esports, we were saying, what will be the fight that really breaks this game open, and I think we just saw it. Top Esports now with a huge advantage here in game.
They make it look effortless for Kanavi.
And they saw the flank from the Rakan as well around this side, and then the Victor puts so much pressure, so much damage out. Flashing in immediately, Skumon trying to escape with his life, but he just burns down, and they could not clutch it.
I think G2 just played way too fast. They funneled themselves into this narrow choke. We go back to live.
369 likely to fall here. Caps laying down a good bit of damage. They're going to give the cash out to Han Sama, crucially. The others is actually his passive gold. You can see he's already earned 1640 from it as LeBron looks like he might be caught out here. Chase coming in from Cream. Nice rocket belt to get him out to safety. Immediate knockback from Skumon. But G2 don't really have an angle to push any further, just a trade of abilities. And Lebrov able to walk away with his life.
369 coming in from the flank though.
Not going to be able to burn him down. That is one tanky Gnar. Kanavi there as well. Hong now has the ultimate waiting for the W from Skumon. Excellent patience for the Poppy on G2.
The TP is used by Broken Blade. He's gotten involved in the fight. He has his ultimate, but he's hesitant to throw it out. Top Esports just playing with their food.
I mean, health bar's just getting chipped away.
Poke from Cream. Nothing to underestimate. You can see the health bars.
Kanavi already used the W. They see that as an opportunity to go in. Instant focus coming in for G2, but Kanavi still stands. TES have weathered the storm, and it's Kanavi now on a killing spree. Here comes Hong. G2 thought they had the angle, but Kanavi lives.
Top Esports hold the line. The engage from G2 does not set up the fight that they were looking for, and the response was brutal. Top Esports find 4. 369 is looking to take out Caps.
About to go Mega. One more Hyper Proc giving him the extra movement speed. One more auto, the boomerang to get it done.
369 finishes the job, and TES will take the Baron.
We look back at this fight. The ulti is good from the Poppy, but then they can't quite close the gap. We turn back to live.
Another fight breaking out. This time Lebrov in trouble. 369 there. Kanavi on a rampage. Baron still empowering TES, but you said it right. They thought they had the angle. They thought they could kill the Nefiri. They didn't have the damage in the right place, and the entire fight fell apart.
I mean, JackeyLove and Kanavi, all they had to do was flash away, and that was enough. G2 then couldn't chase the rest of the fight. Top Esports played it patiently. They had a very nice re-engage, and you have to feel like that was the final fight of the series. A 6.5k goal lead for Top Esports, a Baron buff as well, another pick onto Lebrov. Things are falling apart for G2.
Ulti coming in from Kanavi. Goes intangible, and Caps just gets cut down. Everything connecting, the reset on the ulti there. Hansama not powerful enough. Skumon tries to get the space, and it's the cash out. TES overeager, the shutdown for Hansama, but the pressure still mounting as the tier 2 falls. The Baron still there, empowering the remaining members of TES. Just a 1-for-1 in the end. The gravity field coming in too. The ulti to follow. Hung with an ulti of his own, looking to lock down Hansama, who for now is untouched. The lifesteal is there, and he's living for an extra moment, but here comes JackeyLove. Wants to make the difference. It's just Broken Blade, and Lebrov left. He is here to clean it up. No man left standing.
Cream even lives in TES. They are going to go inside the base. The Baron buff still on. They're looking at semifinals.
TES. They waited 5 long years. JackeyLove. 5 years since they've been to a semifinal. They don't want to wait any longer. They don't want to give G2 or Caps a moment to breathe. TES, take down Caps, take down G2, strike revenge for MSI, and move on to the semifinals.
Off with that victory, very dominant from TES.
I mean, from start to finish, nothing but control from the side of Top Esports. On this Xin Zhao, we really didn't see Skumon have many opportunities to find ganks, and but really just the individual lanes from Top Esports really got the better of G2 here in Game 1.
And this is what we were thinking. Will G2 be able to stall and keep up with TES in the early game?
The answer in Game 1 was no. We'll have to see how they adapt as we send it back over to the analyst desk.
Jackie Love saying, did you remember MSI? No, this is a different game. This is Worlds. This is what we did to you back in the Swiss stage. Did you think it was going to be any different? Because to me, Rab, it did seem like the same strengths that Top Esports had and the same weaknesses that G2 had in that game came also out here.
Yeah, I think it was hyper playing to the strengths of Top Esports, because one of the things, especially when you look at Cream, back when he was making his name on OMG, he was the Silas the Akali player. And to take what has been the meta of this Orianna and Azir back and forth and go, no, we're going to break that open by having our creme de la creme Cream plays Akali was such a good call from Top Esports, and honestly heartbreaking as a European fan.
It hurts. But you say they laid out a trap kind of, right?
Yes.
And they walked right into it, Azael.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a really fun game. I think there was a lot of back and forth fights, but it was very TES favored. I do want to go into a banger team fight we had for our HyperX Reflex replay, and I want to draw your eyes here to Kanavi. Kanavi is going to ride this in, and we have to watch Broken Blade and his timing on the Pathmaker, so we can play out the clip. And the timing on the Pathmaker is so nice here from BB. This gives an opportunity at a position in the game where G2 was looking like it was already cooked. If they lose this fight, and if they lose the next dragon, they are going to lose. Look at that timing right there. As he bounces out, he pushes him out and sets up G2 for a collapse onto this jungler. We can roll the clip once more. The initial start of the fight is so good for G2. Everyone is hitting on Kanavi, and Kanavi is not going to be able to survive for that long. But on the other side, it becomes about the soul laners. As Cream and 369 here get involved, they're going to be targeting these carries in the backline. G2's battle lines right now, very, very good. They kind of have their support and their top laner there. They have their backline in the backline. It's looking pretty nice. We can play the clip one more time. Kanavi does fall, but that is when 369 gets in onto Hans, able to knock him down. Cream is piling in, and you start to think, all right, it is absolutely cooked for G2. But Labrov finds a moment here to set up for that 4-man shockwave for Caps. And that, yes, it does not just swing the game massively in their favor, but it kept G2 alive at a moment, and it earned them that third dragon to push back the soul. It showed, that glimmer of hope for G2 in a game that was very TES favored.
I appreciate you for showing us the glimmer of hope in the rest of that wasteland of that game. But Rob, I want to parlay this a little bit into Game 2. We don't want to be Game 1 Andes, but I think we all kind of agreed that in terms of the early game, what we called out, in terms of Kanavi being able to really put his mark on that, in terms of the laners of TES really being able to farm up, that's actually what was the start of the problem for G2.
Yeah, I mean, it started in that bot lane, right? You end up seeing that Jackie Love gets this massive CS lead. He's already punishing it super effectively against Hansam and Labrov, but then having that teleport means he gets to reset himself up in that bot lane. He ends up like 1,000 gold ahead coming up to the 14-minute mark, and we're already starting to fall behind at that stage. So I think if you're coming into game number 2, it does make me worried that the Corki, who is the neutralizer for that bot lane, didn't work. And then, even if it was a slower paced early game, as Top Esports were waiting for that level 6, they still were able to find these moments. So I think it's about finding comfort in that bottom lane so then we don't end up start falling too far behind as G2, but also then finding ways where we can be a bit more proactive in the early stage from our jungle.
And if we look back to how they did win at MSI, it was because of the bot lane. They had huge advantages. Is that the difference between Mickey X and Labrov? You got to ask the question.
I mean, we'll have to see. They didn't make it to the World Quarterfinals last time with Mickey, so we got to give that credit over. But the bot lane was extremely dominant. Also loved how they got Cream involved. Had this counter pick. He TP's bot. They donated him the kill, and he really took over.
They really need to stabilize G2 Esports. They're on the home soil of Top Esports, and they look poised to
Smiles, handshakes on the face of Broken Blade. He was kind of left out to dry this game, but hey, he did what he could. He landed what taunts he could where he can, but this game really was very much about that bottom lane finding that early lead. Let's hear what the analysts have to say.
G2 strike back. They don't let Top Esports run all over them, and they do it with Lucian, question mark? these are just one of the things we're going to talk about in this segment. But first and foremost, though, Azael, I'll go to you first. There was, I think, resilience from both teams, perhaps also some snafus from both teams, but a very big win and recovery from G2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a massive win from G2. You know, going back towards this Mundo, it worked for them against FlyQuest. I think it has been a really successful pick. But I think the big surprise for everybody is that they went to Bard Lucian, and it really did work out early. It created this massive lead for them. And I have not been impressed by Lebrov's Bard so far. And I know EU Lucian is a dangerous subject to be talking about. But they created such an early advantage.
And I really want to highlight this exact moment, because this could not be further apart from the story in Game 1, where Jackie and Hung ran that lane starting level 1. This time, they make colossal mistakes level 1. Jackie takes a huge chunk, has to back, and then G2 play it out perfectly immediately. Lebrovka, or rather Skewmon, comes over. They zone Jackie away from the turret, chunk him down, and this is what sets up to what I thought was gonna be a great and clean G2 win, because this early game was played out. Really, it was textbook.
And the fact that they end up getting these early kills onto Skewmon is huge as well. He's able to start to snowball when it comes to the experiences. You've set Jackie Love massively far behind. Like, the fact that Lebrov was hitting some of these stuns in level 1, I was like, they're not angles I thought he could hit.
Wow, okay. Okay, he still won the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, but talk about EU Lucian to me, because there's a reason why we didn't have a lot of faith.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see the win rate 2-13 was Lucian all time this year in the LEC. And it's an absolutely absurd time for them to pull it out, because even in draft, I saw it and was like, oh no, it's going to be going 0-2 immediately. But we managed to get the early plays. We snowball effectively. And Hans Sama was doing such a good job with the culling in these fights to actually set up for a lot of these victories. And it's the enabling that we haven't been able to get right in LEC, but G2 were able to do just that here in this game.
I think he deserves his international Lucian license, and yeah, I'm glad that he did, because the bot lane was the strong point for them back in 2024. But Maurits, run me through our next replay, which is a great move by G2 thanks to the reliable Cisco network, because they needed this.
Because I really was on an emotional roller coaster, because at first I thought G2 deserved to win this game. Then they made a couple of big snafus, but then they kept their heads cool. And they made sure that this series didn't end up going to a 2-0. I think that would have just been the end of it. But they immediately isolate Jackie Love. Kanavi is unable to hit the wall, and if this fight doesn't go their way, and we were skeptical because Skewmon didn't have his ult, and they lose here, they lose this game.
Can I ask you, if you're playing a game, would you advise this positioning at Baron with your team?
Well, Rumble was dead with no ult, so I think that's why they're going for it. But it definitely, you've seen those plays go wrong so many times, right? If Kiana gets in the pit, gets a multi-man ult, Yone's there to follow it up, it definitely could go bad. But Jackie definitely stepping too far forward. And I'm kind of with you guys on this journey of thinking it was going to be super one-sided after the early game. And then we have to be honest, you know, G2 did make a number of mistakes. Lebrov in particular kept getting picked off. Their bot lane got both picked off, and you're like, oh my god, wait, are they going to lose this? You cannot lose a game like this and take out an LPL or LCK team, but they were able to stabilize, and they were able to punish mistakes then from TES, like Hong getting caught a number of times. And G2, were able to stay calm and battle through that.
Both have to work on their mistakes and their timing specifically, because as you say, Azael, I've seen this versus BLG, even though they won that game. I've seen this versus FlyQuest in that last game as well, and you can't make those mistakes at this level.